Hello everyone. I hope each one of you is keeping safe. So here we are with the scholars quiz. हमारी scholars quiz जैसे पहले चलती थी बाकी classes के लिए अब मैंने 6th class onward start करी है. So we'll be doing scholars quiz for 6th class students. Then I'll be covering all the chemistry chapters. Then we'll move on to class 7th, 8th and so on. ठीक है 9th 10th की तो scholars quiz already है. So we'll start with the scholars quiz for class 6 students. The name of the chapter is sorting materials into groups. And this time it's a recorded video. I'll try to make a live session next time. Okay. So in this video, you'll be given 15 questions. 15 questions आएंगे and you have to answer all these questions. ठीक है. आप खुद आंसर करेंगे क्वेश्चंस एंड देन देयर वुड बी अ टाइमर जिसमें आप जिस टाइम फ्रेम में आपको आंसर करना है क्वेश्चन एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आपने देखना है कि आपके आउट ऑफ 15 कितने मार्क्स आते हैं, कितने क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट होते हैं. विल स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सब्सटेंसेस आर इनसॉल्युबल इन वाटर? सो आई एम स्टार्टिंग द टाइमर. द फर्स्ट सब्सटेंस शुगर, सल्फर, सैंड और बोथ A and B. Which of the following substances are insoluble in water? The correct answer would be sand. I hope this question is very clear that sand is insoluble in water. So the correct answer is C. The rest of them are soluble in water. I was asking about the insoluble substance. All right. So after we do all 15 questions, you have to write your marks in the comment section. कि आपके कितने questions correct होते हैं? You have to write it in the comment section. We'll start with the second question. Which of the following are translucent materials? Translucent materials: mirror, sandpaper, air or smoked glass. Let's start the timer. You have 5 seconds to answer this question. The correct answer is, so I hope you've answered the question correctly. The correct answer is sandpaper or smoked glass. The answer would be smoked glass. Because mirror is opaque. I hope you already know this, that mirror is opaque. Sandpaper, again, it depends, but generally sandpaper can also come in the category of opaque objects. Air, you know, it is transparent. Air is transparent. And smoked glass, this is a translucent object. Now, a translucent object is the one which allows light to pass through it only partially. So, smoked glass is a translucent object. Let's move to the next question. The property of allowing electricity to flow through it is known as dash. कौन सी property होती है which the property that allows electricity की कौन सी property है? First A melting, B conductivity, C boiling and fourth D combustibility. All right, tell. So you must have answered by now. The correct answer is conductivity. The property of any material that it allows electricity to flow through it or to pass through it is called as conductivity. And all the other options are incorrect. Alright, let's move to the next question. Which of the following is not a combustible material? Not a combustible material. Alright, the option A is wood, option B is paper, option C is silver, option D cloth. So I hope you have answered the question correctly. Now the combustible materials are those which get, like when they are heated, they generally burn easily. Those are combustible materials which burn easily. Now the material which is not combustible, that it doesn't burn into ash, is wood, paper, silver or cloth. The correct answer would be silver. Silver is a non-combustible material. Wood is combustible, paper is combustible and cloth is also combustible. Wood is a non-combustible material. Alright, let's move to the next question. Select the non-lustrous material out of the following. Which of the following is non-lustrous? Gold, sparkle paper, iron or wood. Which of the following is non-lustrous? Alright, so we have the timer. Alright, so the correct answer would be wood. Wood is a non-lustrous material. Alright, I should also include sparkle paper in it because you know in sparkle paper the shine is not due to lustrous material. The shine is basically due to the reflection of light. I hope you are familiar with this term, reflection of light. So in a sparkle paper, generally it shines because of reflection of light. So this option also, it should be incorrect. And wood, you clearly know that wood is a non-lustrous material. Gold is lustrous and iron is lustrous. So if you have put option D, it is correct. If option B you have marked, it is also correct, because sparkle paper is not lustrous. It is generally due to the reflection of light. Alright, let's move to the next question. Question number 6. Which of the following is an insulator of heat? A. Wood and steel. B. Wood and carbon dioxide. C. Paper and iron. And D. Sand and ice. Alright, let's start the timer. So the correct answer would be, which of the following is an insulator of heat? Is wood an insulator of heat? Yes, of course, wood is an insulator. What about steel? Steel is not an insulator. Steel is a conductor of heat. And carbon dioxide, is carbon dioxide a conductor of heat? Carbon dioxide is also not conductor, so this would be the answer. Here paper is an insulator and iron is again not an insulator. So this option again, it would be incorrect. Sand, it's an insulator, but ice, it's a conductor. So the correct option would be B. Wood, which is an insulator, and carbon dioxide being a gas, it is an insulator of heat. Alright, so option B would be correct. Let's see who has got all 6 questions correct. We are moving to the question number 7 now. Alright, so we have certain assertion reasoning questions now. I hope you are familiar how to do assertion reasoning questions. In this, there are 4 options, and the first option is if both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Option number B is if both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. Option number C, assertion is true but reason is false. And option number D, assertion is false but reason is true. So these are assertion reasoning questions. These are the answers to assertion reasoning questions. So based on these answers, you have to answer the following questions. The first of them, the 7th question I can say, or the first assertion reasoning question. Assertion is ductility means the property of a substance to be beaten down into thin sheets. Alright, this is the assertion. The reason is gold and silver are the most ductile elements. So you have 5 seconds to answer this question, whether the answer would be A, would assertion and reason are true or not. Option number B, assertion and reason should be true, but reason shouldn't be the correct explanation. Option number C, you can see from here, option number C is assertion is true, but reason is false. And option number D is if assertion is false and reason is true. Let's start with the timer. So I hope you have answered the question. Assertion, ductility. Now ductility is the property of any substance to be beaten down into thin wires. I hope you are clear with it. Ductility is a property of a substance to be beaten down into thin wires and not sheets. While the reason is gold and silver that are the most ductile elements, which is true. So assertion is false, but reason is true. So see from here, what would be the answer when the assertion is false, but reason is true? The answer would be D. So for this, the answer would be D. So I hope you are familiar now how to answer assertion reasoning questions. Let's move to question number 8. Alright. Assertion is shaving mirror is an opaque object. Shaving mirror is an opaque object. The reason is mirror does not allow light to pass through it. Rather, light reflects through it. So you have to answer with the answer would be A, B, C or D. So here is the timer. You have 5 seconds to answer the question. Alright. So the assertion is shaving mirror is an opaque object. Obviously the statement is true. Shaving mirror or generally any mirror would be called as opaque objects. That is the object through which light cannot pass. So generally mirrors are opaque objects and not transparent, because mirrors do not allow light to pass through it. The light doesn't go inside it. Rather, light just reflects through it. When there is a mirror, light just reflects back from here. It doesn't allow light to pass through it. Alright. A transparent material is the one which allows light to pass through it. And here in this case, the light only reflects through it, through any mirror. So this option is correct. Reason is also correct. Assertion is also correct. And both of them are related. So the answer would be A. Both A and R are true. And reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Alright, let's move to question number 9. Assertion is wood is a hard material. Wood is a hard material. The reason for it is they are saying wood is an insulator of electricity. Alright, so here is the timer. You have 5 seconds. Quickly answer the question. So the answer would be, let's see the assertion first. Assertion is that wood is a hard material. So obviously this is true that wood is a hard material. The second one is, the reason is wood is an insulator of electricity. This statement is also true. This statement is also true. But are these two statements related in any way? I don't think so they are related. So wood is a hard material because it cannot be scratched easily or pressed easily. That should be the reason. But this is a completely different reason. So the answer would be B. Both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. So the answer would be B. I hope you are following what I am saying. Let's move to question number 10. Again an assertion using question. Assertion is cobalt and nickel show magnetic properties. Cobalt and nickel are certain elements that show magnetic property. The reason is that cobalt and nickel are metals and all metals get attracted towards a magnet. Alright. So you have to mark whether these statements are, whether the answer is A, B, C or D. Here is the timer. So the answer would be, let's see the first one, cobalt and nickel show magnetic property. The answer is correct. The assertion is correct. Cobalt and nickel show magnetic property. The reason is cobalt and nickel are metals. This is also correct. Cobalt and nickel are two metals and all metals, they are saying all metals get attracted towards magnet. Now this is not always true. All metals do not get attracted towards a magnet. Alright, there are only certain metals that have magnetic property. For example, iron gets attracted towards magnet, cobalt gets attracted towards magnet and nickel get attracted towards magnet. So materials which have iron, cobalt or nickel present in them get attracted towards the magnet. So the answer would be that assertion is true. This statement, assertion is true while reason is false. So assertion is true while reason is false. The answer would be C. This was a tricky question. Let's move to a case study. Now in a case study question, a paragraph would be given to you and on the basis of the paragraph, you have to answer a few questions. So I'm reading out the paragraph for you. It is often seen that some objects float in water while there are other objects which sink in water. The vital property behind this is density. Now due to because different objects have different mass and volume and hence they have density, hence their density can be different. Alright, more the mass of a substance, more would be its density. This is a case-based study question. So based on this paragraph, you have to answer the following questions. Which of the following substance floats on water? Alright, the first option is iron rod. The second option is sponge. The third option is silver. And the fourth option is glass. You have 5 seconds to answer the question. So the correct option is sponge because sponge has less density than water. Either I can say sponge has less density than water or I can say that sponge is relatively, I can say sponge is relatively not that, its mass is very less. That is why sponge floats on water. So the basic reason is density only, that sponge has less density than water or sponge is lighter than water. That's why sponge floats on water. Alright, so this is the answer, option number B. 12th question, an empty bottle will dash in a bucket of water while a filled bottle will dash in a bucket of water. Option A is float and sink respectively. Option B is sink and sink respectively. Option C is float and float. Option D is sink and float. So in the first option, what should be written, while in the second blank what should be written. You have 5 seconds again to answer this question. Now let's understand this. An empty bottle. Now when the bottle is empty, so that means it is generally, let's suppose I make a bottle here. If the bottle is generally empty, now we have a bucket of water and that's a plastic. We are assuming that that's a plastic bottle. In that case, when there's an empty bottle, that means it is relatively less dense than water. I can say it has less mass than water, or it is lighter than water, then it will float on water. But what happens is when we have filled water in it, see, understand this point, when we have filled water in it, now the density would be more for the bottle, or I can say now the mass would be more, or now I can say that the bottle will sink in water when it is filled with water. So now it would try to sink in water. It would go a little down slightly, not completely. It might not go completely down. It depends on the amount of water and the amount of water is there in the bucket. So but generally, if I compare both the terms, an empty bottle will generally float on water, while a bottle that is completely filled with water will sink in water. So the answer would be A, float, and B, sink. That means the empty bottle would float on water, while when that's a filled water, it would generally sink in water. So this is the answer. Let's move to next question. So I guess that was the last question. We don't have 15 questions. We just have 12 questions. So with this, we end our video here. Do comment in the comment section how many marks are you getting out of 12, whether all the answers were correct or not. And also, if you want any other video regarding any other chapter, do let me know in the comment section. We'll meet again in the next video. Until then, take care everyone, and thank you for watching the video.